the huge areas of the world that have never been looked at by archaeology at all. Of course, the most important are the flooded continental shelves. Santha and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world. You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical, diving on an underwater city.
Beneath the waves of Egypt's Abu Qir Bay lies a mystery that has baffled archaeologists for decades. Lost cities, submerged beneath the sea, their secrets hidden in the depths.
You have to be careful when you look at underwater structures. You have to look at all the conditions that have led to their submergence.
How did the once thriving city of Manuthis vanish beneath the waves? Join us as we dive into this underwater mystery, exploring the theories behind its sudden disappearance and uncovering the treasures that lie hidden beneath the surface.
I want to know what else is going to be found that hasn't been investigated yet at all. We're just touching the edge of a huge mystery.
The submerged city of Manuthis, nestled near Abu Qir Bay, close to Canopus and Alexandria, has emerged as a cornerstone of underwater archaeology, revealing the intricate cultural and religious tapestry of the Greco-Egyptian era. Discovered by Frank Gordillo and his team, this exploration shed light on the daily life and significance of Manuthis before it was engulfed by the Mediterranean. Frank Gordillo, a pioneer in underwater archaeology, led his team through methodical survey processes using state-of-the-art sonar and geomagnetic equipment. This technology was crucial in detecting anomalies that hinted at submerged structures and formed the backbone of their exploratory efforts. The initial phase of exploration involved detailed surveys using side-scan sonar and magnetometers, which provided the first glimpse of Manuthis beneath the silt.
The Nile carries a lot of silt with it, a lot of earth with it, as it flows out of Uganda and out of Ethiopia.
These surveys revealed the outlines of buried structures and were instrumental in mapping potential excavation sites. To further enhance their understanding of the underwater terrain and the depth of sediment layers, the team employed advanced remote sensing technologies, including multi-beam echo sounders and sub-bottom profilers. These tools helped create a three-dimensional map of the seabed, which was pivotal for planning the excavation process. However, the team faced significant challenges due to the dynamic conditions of the underwater environment near Abu Qir Bay. The heavy accumulation of silt, typical in the Nile Delta region, not only buried artifacts and structures but also reduced underwater visibility, complicating both excavation and documentation processes. The shifting currents and tides could expose or rebury artifacts between survey sessions, requiring the team to continuously monitor conditions and respond quickly to windows of opportunity. Additionally, the saline environment and the presence of silt presented major preservation challenges, necessitating immediate conservation efforts to prevent corrosion and biological growth on the artifacts once they were brought to the surface. To mitigate these challenges, the team employed divers specialized in underwater archaeology who used hydraulic suction tubes to delicately remove silt and uncover artifacts. This technique minimized damage to the delicate items. Documentation was another critical aspect of the excavation, with high-resolution photography and videography playing key roles. In many instances, 3D modeling techniques were utilized to capture the exact condition and position of structures and artifacts before they were disturbed. Once artifacts were recovered, they were immediately placed in specially designed conservation containers filled with a stabilizing solution to prevent further decay from exposure to air, ensuring the preservation of these invaluable historical items. Continuing the exploration of Manuthis, the archaeological discoveries have indeed provided a vivid picture of the city's architectural prowess, daily and ceremonial life, and even the geological reasons behind its submersion.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
The structural remains unearthed in Manuthis point to its significant buildings, which were likely central to both the city's daily and communal activities. These buildings were constructed using large limestone blocks. The sophisticated engineering techniques needed to quarry, shape, and transport these massive blocks hint at the advanced architectural knowledge and structural integrity of that era. It's likely that levers, ramps, and possibly wooden rollers were used in their placement, techniques that mirror other Egyptian constructions from the same period. The range of ceramics discovered provides further insights into the lifestyle in Manuthis. From simple domestic wares to intricately designed ceremonial pieces, the ceramics display a blend of Egyptian and Greek styles, reflecting the cultural fusion during the Ptolemaic period. These items, varying from everyday storage and cooking uses to those in religious rituals or as luxury household items, offer a glimpse into the daily and ceremonial lives of its inhabitants.
Ancient cultures all around the world preserved a memory of a high civilization.
Statuary found at the site also speaks volumes about the cultural and religious life in Manuthis. Crafted from durable materials like granite and marble, these statues, often over 2 meters tall and weighing more than 500 kilograms, depicted deities and significant figures, suggesting their role in reinforcing a sense of divine presence or royal authority within public spaces or temples. Regarding why Manuthis ended up underwater, one compelling theory involves geological and climatic changes. The city was built on the geologically unstable Nile Delta, prone to subsidence, a gradual sinking of the land.
All that silt is then dumped in the Nile Delta, and constructions were made on top of it.
This subsidence, possibly exacerbated by the weight of the city's structures and the delta's soft sedimentary soil, combined with sea level changes from climatic shifts or seismic events, might have led to the gradual inundation of Manuthis over the centuries. Manuthis, though not as expansive as Alexandria, was intricately laid out to support its population and their activities, suggesting it covered several square kilometers. With a network of streets, marketplaces, and residential areas, and its location along the coast, it likely also served as a minor port or trading post, facilitating trade between the Nile interior and the Mediterranean. This urban layout not only supported its role in commerce, but also its cultural and social structure, making it a bustling hub of activity in ancient times. Just as the city of Manuthis provided deep insights into ancient Greco-Egyptian culture, so too does the rediscovery of Canopus, located near the modern village of Abu Qir and close to the ancient city of Thonis Heracleon. Canopus, brought back to light by Frank Gaudio and his team, showcases the religious and architectural richness of ancient Egypt. Frank Gaudio's exploratory campaign revealed Canopus through advanced underwater archaeology techniques. Utilizing sophisticated sonar technology, magnetometers, and sub-bottom profilers, Gaudio's team successfully identified significant anomalies that matched the expected locations of architectural structures under the seabed. The initial surveys disclosed the outlines of temple complexes and other significant constructions, indicating the potential scale and importance of Canopus, which had been hidden beneath layers of sediment and marine growth. Among the most striking findings in Canopus were the expansive temple complexes and sanctuaries dedicated to Egyptian gods, particularly Osiris. The main temple structures were quite large, with some remains suggesting dimensions of over 50 meters in length and more than 20 meters wide. These vast areas were clearly designed to accommodate large numbers of pilgrims, highlighting their importance as major religious centers. The construction materials of these temples were primarily limestone and granite, with giant blocks weighing up to 10 tons each. These materials were not only selected for their durability, but also for their aesthetic qualities, vital for such culturally and religiously significant structures. Moreover, the temples featured intricate carvings and hieroglyphics that were both decorative and narrative, telling the stories and rituals associated with the deities worshipped within. The sanctuaries also yielded a wide array of artifacts that paint a vivid picture of the religious practices and daily life surrounding these structures. Numerous statues, mainly crafted from granite and basalt, have been recovered. These statues, which vary in size with some standing several meters tall and weighing hundreds of kilograms, often depict gods and goddesses and were intended as focal points of worship. Additionally, ritual objects such as ceremonial cups, incense burners, and offerings tables were found, crafted from materials like alabaster and bronze, which signify their sacred uses and the affluence of the temple complexes. Canopus was not only a significant site for the worship of Osiris, but also played a central role during the Mysteries of Osiris, an annual festival that drew devotees from across the region. This underscores the religious importance of the city. The art and architecture of Canopus reflect a blend of Greek and Egyptian influences, typical of the Hellenistic period in Egypt, evident in the hybrid designs of the temples and the iconography of the statuary. The reason Canopus found itself submerged is largely attributed to geological processes such as subsidence and rising sea levels over the millennia. Built on the unstable sediments of the Nile Delta, the city was vulnerable to the shifting land masses and the slow encroachment of the Mediterranean Sea, processes that gradually led to its submersion and preserved its relics beneath the sea.
Arthur and I spent 7 years of our lives scuba diving all around the world. You're coming across statues underwater, you're coming across columns underwater. It's just magical, diving on an underwater city.
For centuries, the lost city of Heracleon, or Thonis as it was known to the ancient Egyptians, was thought to be nothing more than a legend, hidden beneath the waves near the mouth of the Nile River, off the modern-day coast of Alexandria, Egypt. It was a city whispered about in a few rare inscriptions and ancient texts, until its discovery in the early 2000s.
You have to be careful when you look at underwater structures. You have to look at all the conditions that have led to their submergence.
Underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team unveiled this submerged city, transforming it from myth to reality in a groundbreaking moment for archaeology. Heracleion was not just any city. It was a vital gateway to Egypt, a primary port for Greek trade before Alexandria took prominence. This bustling hub was alive with commerce, culture, and religion, serving as a significant center for the worship of the god Amun-Gareb.
The submergence of those sites is largely because of subsidence of land rather than sea level rise, because it's relatively recent.
Among its most revered ceremonies was the annual Mysteries of Osiris, celebrating the resurrection of Osiris.
But over here we have the god Osiris from Egypt, remembered by the ancient Egyptians as a bringer of the gifts of civilization, not only in Egypt, but in many other lands as well.
The artifacts and inscriptions recovered from beneath the waters tell tales of this grand city. Located about 6.5 kilometers off the coast, submerged under 30 to 45 feet of water, the ruins of Heracleion have yielded an astonishing array of artifacts. Giant statues towering over 5 meters high, beautifully carved and remarkably preserved in the silty seabed, depict Egyptian gods and goddesses alongside pharaohs and Greek rulers, a testament to the cultural melting pot that was Heracleion.
They came to Egypt and established religion by building primeval mounds up and down the Nile Valley.
Alongside these, gold coins and bronze and stone weights unearthed from the site offer glimpses into the trade networks and economic systems that underpinned the city's prosperity. Adding to the intrigue, archaeologists found dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, likely used for mummified animals brought as offerings, and the remains of over 64 ancient shipwrecks. These discoveries weave a narrative of a city where commerce and devotion to the gods were deeply entwined, a place of profound spiritual significance. Drawing parallels between Heracleion and the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy presents an interesting perspective on how natural disasters can both destroy and preserve. While Pompeii was buried in volcanic ash, Heracleion succumbed to rising waters and earthquakes. Yet both cities lay forgotten for centuries, their rediscoveries providing snapshots of ancient life. Pompeii offers a view of Roman life captured in ash, whereas Heracleon's story is told through artifacts preserved under the sea, offering unique insights into ancient Egyptian civilization. The ongoing exploration of Heracleion challenges our understanding of ancient history, shedding light on the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations. The city's artifacts and structures, now emerging from the depths, serve as a potent reminder of the fleeting nature of human achievements and the intricate tapestry of human history. Now moving on to another discovery. The submerged ruins of Cleopatra's palace offer a fascinating window into the past. This palace, once a bustling centre of political and cultural activity, was home to Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, known for her intelligence, political acumen, and captivating presence. The discovery of its ruins has thrilled historians and archaeologists, providing unprecedented insights into Cleopatra's era, a time marked by immense political power, cultural achievements, and architectural splendor. The underwater excavations at this site have been nothing short of a treasure trove, unearthing a wealth of artifacts that tell the story of life in ancient Alexandria. Among the haul are magnificent statues that might have once graced the palace and its surroundings, depicting Egyptian gods, Ptolemaic rulers, and possibly Cleopatra herself. These finds offer clues to the artistic and religious milieu of the period. The submerged structures, thought to include the palace's living quarters and ceremonial areas, and possibly even the fabled Pharos lighthouse, give us a glimpse into the architectural and urban planning styles of the time. Moreover, everyday items such as pottery, glassware, coins, and personal ornaments have been found, painting a vivid picture of both the domestic life within the palace and the bustling economic life of Alexandria. Cleopatra's Alexandria was a cosmopolitan beacon of trade, culture, and learning, hosting the Great Library and attracting scholars from across the ancient world. Cleopatra's reign represented the peak of Alexandria's development as a hub of Hellenistic culture, merging Egyptian traditions with those of Greece and Rome. The underwater discovery of the palace highlights Alexandria's significance in the ancient Mediterranean world. Drawing parallels with the sunken Roman city of Baiae in the Bay of Naples, both Cleopatra's palace and Baiae were epitomes of luxury and political clout of their times, reflecting the architectural tastes and wealth of their civilizations. While Baiae reveals much about Roman elite leisure and architectural innovation, the underwater ruins of Cleopatra's palace open a portal to the end of the Egyptian pharaoh's era, and the attempts by the Ptolemaic dynasty to synthesize Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. The exploration of Cleopatra's palace continues to enrich our understanding of ancient Alexandria's pivotal role in the Mediterranean. It also offers a deeper look into the life and times of one of history's most enigmatic figures, Cleopatra VII, and the lavish lifestyle she led. The ruins serve as a poignant reminder of Alexandria's former glory and the fleeting nature of human achievements, standing as a testament to the transformative power of nature over history. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, the port of Alexandria quickly ascended to become one of the ancient world's most crucial trade hubs, buzzing with the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Its prime location on the Mediterranean coast of Egypt established it as a pivotal connector of trade routes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, transforming it into a melting pot of global significance. The strategic and economic importance of the port was unparalleled, primarily serving as the vital conduit for Egypt's grain shipments to Rome, which was essential for the empire's stability. Among the marvels that made Alexandria famous was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Positioned on the island of Pharos, this engineering masterpiece not only guided ships safely into the harbour with its formidable light, but also symbolised the city's affluence and ingenuity. Although not directly linked to the port, the Great Library of Alexandria was another testament to the city's intellectual and cultural richness, drawing scholars and thinkers from across the globe. The royal quarters and palaces of Alexandria, including the Museion, home to the famed library, reflected the city's role as a beacon of Hellenistic culture and power. Meanwhile, underwater archaeology in the port area has unveiled a trove of artifacts, from ancient shipwrecks to everyday items, shedding light on the maritime practices of the time and the diversity of goods that flowed through Alexandria. The port was a linchpin in the ancient economy, bustling with the trade of grain, papyrus, glass, and precious metals, among other commodities. Its docks and warehouses were a hive of activity, indicative of a well-organized network that made Alexandria a cultural and economic bridge between various civilizations. The discovery of diverse ship remains and goods in Alexandria highlights its wider reach in the ancient trade world. The legacy of the port of Alexandria is monumental, influencing maritime trade, architecture, and culture well beyond its heyday. ongoing archaeological work in the port area continues to enrich our understanding of the interactions, economies, and daily life of ancient civilizations. Its history serves as a powerful reminder of humanity's interconnectedness through time.
We could have the proof that the city of Tunis and the city of Heracleon were one and the same city.
Underwater archaeological discoveries in Egypt have unveiled some of the most remarkable insights into ancient civilizations, particularly those related to the rich history of the Nile Delta, the coastal areas along the Mediterranean Sea, and various submerged sites. These findings not only provide a glimpse into the advanced engineering, trade, and practices of ancient Egyptians, but also shed light on their interactions with neighboring civilizations. Nestled at the mouth of the Nile River, in the protective embrace of Abu Qir Bay, lies the ancient city of Heracleion, also known to the Egyptians as Thonis. Its strategic location served as a critical junction, bridging Egypt with the vast Mediterranean and catapulting Heracleon into prominence as a bustling port city. This prime spot was not just about trade, it facilitated cultural exchanges that enriched ancient civilizations, making Heracleon a bustling hub of activity and a beacon of prosperity and innovation. The tale of Heracleon's discovery reads like a chapter from a mystery novel. Led by the French underwater archaeologist Franck Goddio in 2000, a team embarked on an archaeological odyssey, employing sonar mapping and advanced diving technologies to pierce the depths of the Mediterranean. Before this groundbreaking discovery, Heracleon was shrouded in myth, known only through cryptic mentions in ancient texts by historians like Herodotus and Strabo. Their writings painted a picture of a city that had vanished beneath the waves, adding layers of intrigue and speculation about its fate. Diving into the depths, Goddio and his team uncovered wonders that surpassed all expectations. They found more than 64 ancient ships entombed in the bay's protective clay and sand, alongside grand statues of gods and goddesses towering up to 5 meters high. These were not mere relics. They were storytellers whispering tales of economic vibrancy and intricate trade networks, with gold coins and bronze weights speaking volumes about the city's former glory. But Heracleon was more than a commercial center. It was a spiritual heartland. The discovery of giant statues of Hapi, the god of the Nile's floods, alongside the remnants of stone temples, underscored the city's religious significance. It was here that the annual Mysteries of Osiris processions likely commenced, weaving through the city in a vibrant display of faith and devotion, linking Heracleon to the divine. The city's layout, with its network of canals and basins, evoked comparisons to Venice's famed waterways. This sophisticated urban planning facilitated not just local trade, but played a pivotal role in international commerce, laying the foundations for Heracleon's prosperity. Amidst these discoveries, a compelling theory emerged about the city's sudden demise. Some scholars suggest that a catastrophic blend of geological subsidence and a tsunami, perhaps triggered by an earthquake, engulfed Heracleon in a tragic overnight fate. Sediment analysis supporting this rapid submersion theory presents a city frozen in time, a Pompeii beneath the waves. The story of Heracleon often conjures images of the legendary Atlantis, a city that, according to Plato, disappeared into the ocean in a day and night of misfortune. While Atlantis remains a tale, Heracleon stands as a tangible witness to the existence of advanced ancient cities that faced similar fates. As we dive deeper into the annals of history, the waters around Abu Qir Bay, just off the coast of Alexandria, whisper tales of valor and conflict from one of the 18th century's most decisive naval confrontations. This strategic maritime corridor, a bridge between the Mediterranean and the ancient lands of Egypt, has witnessed an array of military and trade activities, but none as renowned as the Battle of the Nile. Here, beneath the waves, lies a submerged chronicle of naval warfare that marked a turning point at the dawn of the 19th century. The exploration and recovery efforts in the depths of Abu Qir Bay are nothing short of a technological odyssey. Armed with side-scan sonar, magnetometers, and robotic submersibles, modern-day archaeologists have meticulously mapped the ocean floor. Their goal? To unearth the remnants of a sunken fleet that serves as a time capsule of a bygone era of naval combat. What they found was not just the skeletal remains of warships, but a collection of personal items, shoes, buttons, grooming tools that paint a vivid picture of the sailors who once manned these vessels. These artifacts, along with cannons and musket balls, narrate the fierce battle and the state of naval armament at the time. The significance of these findings cannot be overstated. They illuminate the strategic and tactical brilliance of Admiral Horatio Nelson, whose leadership and innovative tactics led the British fleet to a decisive victory over the French. The underwater positioning of the ships reveals the cunning of Nelson's maneuvers, securing British naval dominance in a battle that would echo through history. Delving into the historical narrative, some historians put forth an intriguing theory. They suggest that the unique environmental conditions of Abu Qir Bay, its tidal and wind patterns, played a pivotal role in the battle's outcome. This theory posits that the British fleet under Nelson's command leveraged these conditions for a surprise attack, catching the French fleet in a seemingly secure position, but ultimately vulnerable. The story of the Battle of the Nile often draws parallels with the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. Both monumental naval engagements signaled a significant shift in naval power and had profound impacts on European history. While the defeat of the Spanish Armada heralded England's rise as a global naval force, the victory at the Nile marked the beginning of the end for Napoleon's ambitions in the Eastern Mediterranean, cementing British naval supremacy for years to come. Beyond the tactical and strategic significance, the artifacts and shipwrecks resting in the depths of Abu Qir Bay stand as solemn monuments. Venturing from the submerged narratives of naval warfare into the realm of architectural wonders, the story of the Lighthouse of Alexandria, or Pharos, beckons with its tales of engineering mastery and historical intrigue. Standing as a beacon of ancient innovation, the Pharos was not just any lighthouse. It was a marvel that pierced the sky, reaching over 100 meters into the heavens, making it one of the tallest man-made structures of the ancient world. Crafted under the aegis of the Ptolemaic kingdom by Sostratus of Cnidus, its construction was a testament to the advanced engineering of the era, utilizing lead to anchor its massive stone blocks securely, ensuring resilience against the seismic shifts of the Earth. Through the lens of underwater archaeology, equipped with digital mapping and 3D reconstruction tools, explorers have scoured the seabed of Alexandria's eastern harbor. This meticulous exploration has unearthed fragments and massive blocks, some weighing as much as 75 tons, and statues that once graced the vicinity of the lighthouse, including the colossal representations of what might be Ptolemy II. These findings have shed light on the Pharos' grandeur, revealing a scale and complexity that surpasses earlier estimates. Among the intriguing theories surrounding the Pharos' design is the inclusion of a reflective mirror, possibly crafted from polished bronze. This ingenious device, capable of catching the sun's rays by day and the glow of fire by night, would have been visible from as far as 50 kilometers away, guiding mariners safely through the Mediterranean's treacherous waters. Such a feature underscores the lighthouse's role as a beacon of safety and a marvel of ancient technological prowess. Drawing parallels with another ancient wonder, the Colossus of Rhodes, the Pharos shares a narrative of monumental significance. Both structures, celebrated among the 7 wonders of the ancient world, stood on islands marking the entrance to strategic ports. And both succumbed to the ravages of earthquakes, their destruction marking the end of an era, but leaving behind a legacy wrapped in the aura of their former glory. The cultural and historical impact of the Pharos extends far beyond its physical presence. It served as a practical aid to navigation and a symbol of Alexandria's might and technological advancement. Immortalized on coins and in the literary accounts of Roman authors such as Pliny the Elder and Strabo, the Pharos has cemented its place in history as a beacon of ancient marvels. Its legacy continues to shine through in language, with the name Pharos becoming synonymous with lighthouses and beaconing across many cultures. This linguistic testament reflects the profound influence of the Pharos on maritime navigation and architectural design through the ages. The concept of a guiding light, safely leading sailors to shore, has become an enduring symbol of hope, guidance, and human ingenuity, inspired by the legendary Pharos of Alexandria. This transition from the depths of naval conflict to the pinnacle of ancient engineering marvels reveals the multifaceted tapestry of human history, woven through tales of conquest, innovation, and the indomitable spirit of exploration. The ancient underwater city of Alexandria, located at the mouth of the Nile River in Egypt, is a treasure trove of archaeological wonders and historical insights. Founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE, it quickly rose to become the cultural and economic hub of the ancient world. However, parts of this legendary city succumbed to the sea due to earthquakes and tsunamis over centuries. Diving into the depths of the Mediterranean, Frank Goddio and his team's exploration of Alexandria's underwater ruins stands as a testament to human curiosity and technological prowess. The discovery of this ancient city submerged beneath the sea intertwines the grand narratives of history, technology, and myth, offering a window into one of antiquity's greatest civilizations. The use of state-of-the-art technology, including submersible robots and sophisticated sonar mapping, marks a significant evolution in underwater archaeology, reminiscent of the groundbreaking exploration of the Titanic wreck. Yet, while the Titanic's discovery opened the deep sea to archaeologists, Goddio's project breathed life back into ancient urban landscapes, showcasing the advancements in archaeological methods. The preservation of artifacts and structures found underwater presents unique challenges, starkly contrasting with those encountered in the preservation of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The saltwater environment of Alexandria erodes materials over time, demanding innovative solutions for conservation, highlighting the diverse challenges archaeologists face based on the context of their discoveries. The uncovering of the royal quarters and temples in Alexandria offers unparalleled insights into the Ptolemaic dynasty's architectural and cultural grandeur, drawing comparisons to the discovery of Pompeii. However, Alexandria reveals its secrets from beneath the waves, providing a unique lens through which to view ancient urban planning and religious practices. When compared to other ancient submerged cities like Baiae or Pavlopetri, Alexandria's ruins underscore the city's cosmopolitan nature, standing as a testament to its role as a center of commerce, culture, and knowledge. Alexandria's position as a cultural and economic hub in the ancient world is further emphasized by the diversity of artifacts found, echoing the melting pot of cultures found in Silk Road cities like Samarkand. The discovery of remnants believed to be part of the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, underscores Alexandria's advanced engineering and pivotal role in ancient navigation, much like the Great Wall of China's significance in its own civilization. The successful exploration of Alexandria's underwater ruins not only advances our understanding of ancient civilizations, but also inspires further technological innovation in underwater archaeology. This quest to uncover the past mirrors how the space race propelled aerospace technology, demonstrating the impact of historical exploration on modern advancement. Moreover, the cultural resonance of these discoveries, akin to the fascination sparked by the discovery of King Tutankhamun's tomb, highlights the enduring allure of Egypt's ancient civilizations. Exhibitions of artifacts from Alexandria's underwater ruins have captured the global public imagination. Delving into the depths of the Mediterranean, the underwater excavations of Alexandria have unveiled treasures that paint a vivid picture of a city steeped in glory and history. Among the ruins and relics, a myriad of statues, sphinxes, and architectural marvels whisper tales of ancient Alexandria's cultural and artistic zenith. One of the most breathtaking discoveries is a giant statue believed to depict Ptolemy II, an emblem of the fusion between Hellenistic and Egyptian influences that characterize the Ptolemaic dynasty. Crafted from red granite, this colossal figure stands as a bridge between 2 worlds, reminiscent of the grand colossi of Memnon in Luxor, Egypt, and underscoring the tradition of monumental sculpture that flourished in ancient Egyptian culture. The seabed also revealed sphinxes and statues of Egyptian gods and goddesses. These findings not only highlight the Ptolemies' efforts to weave together their Greek heritage with the rich tapestry of Egyptian religious symbolism. The sphinxes, majestic with their lion bodies and human heads, serve as symbols of the ruler's wisdom and power, reflecting the broader narrative of Greek and Egyptian cultural intermingling. Furthermore, the recovery of architectural fragments from Alexandria's waters provides a window into the city's architectural prowess and urban planning. Columns, capitals, and friezes bear witness to a city where Egyptian, Greek, and Roman influences converged, creating a unique aesthetic that mirrored Alexandria's identity as a melting pot of civilizations. This aspect of the discoveries draws parallels with the archaeological finds in ancient Rome, where a similar amalgamation of architectural styles speaks to a rich, interconnected Mediterranean world. The excavation also brought to light an assortment of pottery and jewelry, offering glimpses into the daily lives, trade, and artistic expressions of Alexandria's denizens. The variety of pottery, from utilitarian domestic vessels to elaborately decorated ceremonial pieces, suggests a society of complex social strata and diverse needs. Meanwhile, the jewelry, gold earrings, necklaces, and rings, often embellished with precious stones, underscores Alexandria's affluence and its pivotal role in the trade networks that crisscrossed the Mediterranean. These artifacts not only revealed the city's artistic flair, but also its connections to a wider world. Through these discoveries, the underwater ruins of Alexandria continue to fascinate and enlighten, offering a mosaic of insights into one of antiquity's most magnificent cities. When divers stumbled upon a shipwreck near the Greek island of Antikythera in 1901, little did they know they were about to uncover one of the most astonishing artifacts of the ancient world, the Antikythera mechanism. Often hailed as the world's first analog computer, this device, dating back to around 100 BCE, is a marvel of ancient engineering and scientific knowledge. With its intricate system of over 30 bronze gears housed in a wooden frame, the mechanism was designed to predict lunar and solar eclipses, track the cycles of the Olympic Games, and model the moon's complex orbit, showcasing a level of technological sophistication that seems centuries ahead of its time. But what's truly fascinating about the Antikythera mechanism isn't just its complexity and precision. It also served as an astronomical and calendar device, capable of calculating the positions of the sun, moon, and perhaps even the planets. It featured dials for the zodiac and solar calendar, embedding celestial phenomena within the fabric of timekeeping in ancient Greek society. Inscriptions on the device acted as a user guide, revealing a profound understanding of astronomy and mathematics among its creators and users. While the origins of this extraordinary artifact remain speculative, many believe its connection to Alexandria isn't far-fetched. Known as the intellectual beacon of the Hellenistic world, Alexandria was home to the legendary library and the museum, a research institution that attracted scholars like Euclid, Hero, and Archimedes. Their contributions to mathematics, physics, and engineering could very well have influenced the creation of the Antikythera mechanism, suggesting it may have originated from this vibrant scientific community. In fact, some scholars posit that the principles behind the mechanism could have been inspired by Archimedes himself, although he lived earlier than the device's estimated creation date. The discovery of the Antikythera mechanism in a shipwreck hints at the extensive trade networks and cultural exchanges of the time, linking Alexandria with other Greek locales, including Antikythera. Such connections likely facilitated the spread of technological and scientific knowledge across the Mediterranean. The legacy of the Antikythera mechanism extends far beyond its historical and archaeological significance. It stands as a testament to the technological achievements of the ancient Greeks, challenging our perceptions of ancient technology and highlighting their sophisticated understanding of mechanical devices. Modern scientists and engineers have drawn inspiration from this ancient marvel, leading to new discoveries about ancient science and technology, and even the development of replicas using ancient techniques. Ongoing research, employing advanced imaging techniques, continues to unveil the secrets of the Antikythera mechanism, offering insights not just into the device itself, but also into the scientific and cultural milieu of the Hellenistic period. Through the lens of this remarkable artifact, we gain a deeper appreciation for the ingenuity of the ancient world, particularly the pivotal role played by Alexandria in fostering a legacy of innovation and knowledge that continues to inspire to this day.
The Great Pyramid, mostly that's the one that's been studied. We actually haven't done a whole lot of studying on the other pyramids. In fact, we've not even cleared off the bases of some of the other pyramids up at Giza. It's crazy. I mean, there's giant underground networks of tunnels underneath Saqqara, I think underneath Giza, all over Egypt. The Sphinx is not like a built thing, like they carved down into the ground and then they shaped it out of bedrock.
Beneath the sands of the Giza Plateau lies the Osiris Shaft, a mysterious underground structure that baffles archaeologists and captivates history enthusiasts.
They did discover that somewhere underneath the area of the front paws, there was a hollow area.
This subterranean marvel, with its intricate architecture and profound symbols, offers glimpses into ancient Egyptian religious and ceremonial practices. The mysteries of the Osiris Shaft invite us to explore its true purpose and the advanced knowledge behind its construction. Known since the late 19th century, the Osiris shaft initially did not attract much attention from early explorers and Egyptologists, who focused more on the prominent features like the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. As a less conspicuous feature, it remained largely unexplored until the late 20th century, when systematic exploration began.
So we do know the Sphinx does have hollow areas. It's just the government doesn't want to admit that that's the case.
The turning point came with the work led by the renowned Egyptologist Zahi Hawass in the 1990s. Under his direction, comprehensive exploration of the shaft was undertaken, which unveiled its complex architecture and potential significance in understanding Egyptian religious practices.
The Sphinx is hidden underneath the Sphinx. So can you give us permission to drill?
The exploration of the Osiris shaft involved the challenging task of removing water that had accumulated in the lower levels, especially the third level, which was partially submerged.
That the water began to rise in front of the Sphinx temple outside.
Modern pumping equipment was employed to drain the water, allowing archaeologists access to the shaft's deepest parts. The detailed examination of the shaft's architecture revealed the engineering skills of ancient Egyptians. It consists of 3 levels, each serving a different purpose, with the lowest level housing a large stone sarcophagus in a chamber filled with water, suggesting a symbolic representation of the underworld. The second level contained 6 burial shafts, though they were found empty, leading to speculation about their original use. This finding was significant in understanding burial practices and the possible ceremonial use of the shaft. Although largely devoid of inscriptions that could provide direct information about its creators or construction dates, the excavation unearthed several artifacts, including pottery shards and fragments of stone vessels, offering some clues about the shaft's age and use. Dating the Osiris shaft has been challenging due to the lack of inscriptions and the mixed nature of the artifacts found within. However, based on the style of pottery and other items, as well as architectural features, archaeologists suggest that the shaft might date from the New Kingdom period, with some elements possibly being older or reused from earlier periods. The Osiris shaft, a mysterious and elaborate underground complex, has sparked intense scholarly debate and speculation due to its unique architectural features and symbolic elements.
It's a subterranean complex. So, it's a very complicated, incredibly enigmatic place.
Scholars and archaeologists have proposed various theories about its purpose, drawing on evidence from Egyptian mythology, religious practices, and archaeological findings. These theories primarily revolve around the shaft's connection to the cult of Osiris, the god of the afterlife, death and rebirth, and its potential use in ancient ceremonial practices. Osiris, one of the most important gods in the ancient Egyptian pantheon, symbolizes the cycle of death and rebirth. The water-filled chamber at the bottom of the Osiris shaft is believed to symbolize the underworld, or the primordial waters of Nun, from which all life emerged according to Egyptian cosmology. This chamber, especially with its central stone sarcophagus, could represent the tomb of Osiris and the place of his resurrection. The presence of a large stone-carved sarcophagus in the deepest chamber is seen as a direct reference to Osiris's burial. Although empty, this sarcophagus serves as a powerful symbol of Osiris's death and his role in the afterlife, potentially used in rituals emulating his resurrection. One prevalent theory is that the Osiris shaft was used for initiation rites into the mysteries of Osiris. These rites would have been designed to impart secret knowledge and spiritual rebirth to initiates, mirroring the death and resurrection of Osiris. The descent through the shaft's levels could symbolize the initiate's journey through death to enlightenment and rebirth, with each level representing a stage of spiritual transformation. The shaft may have also been used for rituals celebrating the cyclical nature of life and death, reflecting the agricultural significance of the Nile's flooding and the seasonal growth cycles associated with Osiris. Such rituals could involve the symbolic planting of seeds, water libations, and recitations of hymns and prayers, aiming to ensure the regeneration of life and the fertility of the land. Another speculation ties the Osiris shaft to ancient Egyptian astronomy, particularly the belief in the stars as the destination of the soul in the afterlife. The orientation and structure of the shaft might have had astronomical significance, aligning with specific stars or constellations believed to be associated with Osiris and the afterlife. While direct archaeological evidence supporting these theories is limited, the design of the Osiris shaft and the artifacts found within it offer indirect clues. The careful construction of the shaft, the choice of its location near the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid, and the selection of objects placed in the smaller chambers suggest a deliberate attempt to create a sacred space imbued with religious and symbolic meanings. Textual evidence from ancient Egyptian religious texts, such as the Pyramid texts and the Book of the Dead, which contain references to the afterlife and the journey of the soul, provides a contextual backdrop for interpreting the Osiris shaft. These texts describe the landscape of the afterlife, including the presence of water, boats, and the significance of the sarcophagus, all of which find echoes in the physical structure of the Osiris shaft. The Osiris shaft showcases the architectural ingenuity of ancient Egyptian civilization, constructed deep within the limestone bedrock and organized into 3 distinct levels connected by vertical shafts. This site blends the practical with the mystical. Let's explore the architecture and structure of the Osiris shaft, examining each level's design, construction, and potential significance. The engineering and architectural design of the Osiris shaft demonstrate advanced planning and knowledge of subterranean construction techniques. The entrance is a rectangular opening, a deliberate design choice marking the beginning of a descent into the earth.
That's the access to the underground area of the Sphinx. The government put it there on purpose.
This opening leads directly to a vertical shaft carved straight down into the limestone, requiring precise control to maintain the shaft's integrity and direction. The shaft descends approximately 10 meters to the first level. The construction of this shaft involved removing tons of limestone using tools made from harder stones, copper, and possibly bronze, as well as ropes and wooden scaffolding for debris removal. The initial chamber at this level is relatively modest in size and devoid of elaborate decorations or significant artifacts. Its simplicity suggests it may have served as an antechamber or a preparatory space for deeper levels, possibly intended for purification or other preliminary rites. A second vertical shaft leads from the first level down an additional 20 meters, indicating a continuation of the journey into the depths. This shaft's construction would have been even more challenging due to the depth and the need to ensure ventilation and structural stability. This more extensive chamber houses 6 burial shafts, which were found empty, hinting at possible looting or a symbolic use. The creation of these shafts within the chamber's floor showcases a complex understanding of space utilization and the cultural importance of burial practices. The empty burial shafts might have been intended for actual interments or served a ceremonial purpose, perhaps symbolizing the passage to the afterlife. Their presence speaks to the shaft's potential role in funerary rites or as a cenotaph. The third and deepest level is accessed via another shaft from the second level, descending around 30 meters below the surface. This final descent marks the culmination of the journey into the underworld, mirroring the mythological descent of Osiris. Dominated by a large stone sarcophagus, this chamber is a dramatic representation of the tomb of Osiris. The partial filling of this chamber with water from the natural aquifer links the Osiris shaft to the mythological themes of rebirth and purification. Water, a symbol of life and regeneration, would have held profound religious significance, enhancing the chamber's sanctity as a representation of Osiris's tomb. Surrounding the central sarcophagus are smaller chambers that contained mummified remains and artifacts. Graham Hancock, a British author known for his unconventional theories about ancient civilizations, has posited several intriguing ideas regarding the Osiris shaft and the broader context of ancient Egyptian monuments.
Is there not a hidden chamber as well?
In fact, there is a whole underworld at Giza. This is beginning to be recognized.
Hancock's work, which spans several books including Fingerprints of the Gods and Magicians of the Gods, often challenges the orthodox archaeological understanding of history. His theories, while controversial among mainstream scholars, have sparked considerable interest and debate among the public and alternative researchers.
I think there's a lot more remains to be discovered under the Giza Plateau.
Yeah.
A central theme in his work is the hypothesis of a lost advanced civilization that predates known history. He suggests that this civilization possessed sophisticated knowledge of astronomy, architecture, and mathematics, which was passed down to later cultures, including the ancient Egyptians.
But remember that the ancient Egyptians tell us in many of their texts that everything they knew was a legacy.
He suggests these events led to significant rises in sea levels and could have been responsible for the demise of the advanced civilization he hypothesizes. The Osiris shaft's lower levels being filled with water could be interpreted within Hancock's framework as symbolic or actual evidence of these cataclysmic events. He might view the water in the shaft as a deliberate reference to the ancient floods and the civilization's knowledge of these cataclysmic events.
What we found in Egypt is only the highlands of it. Another very fascinating aspect of this testimony is that the ancient Egyptian priests found multiple caches of books and documents, which they then spirited away to the Library of Alexandria in Egypt. And we are told that the burning of the Library of Alexandria was a false flag, and the only thing they really burned was the census records, and the Romans took all of the real books, all the ancient stuff cataloged by the Egyptians, and hid it away in where? The Vatican Library.
The lost city of Heracleon, known to the ancient Egyptians as Thonis, was a submerged city near the mouth of the Nile River, off the coast of modern-day Alexandria, Egypt. Its discovery in the early 2000s by underwater archaeologist Frank Goddio and his team was a landmark event in archaeology. For centuries, Heracleion had been considered nothing more than a legend, known only through a few rare inscriptions and ancient texts. Heracleon served as a gateway to Egypt, acting as one of the primary ports of entry for Greek trade before the establishment of Alexandria. This made it a bustling hub of commerce, culture, and religion. The city was also a center for the worship of the god Amun-Gereb, the supreme god of the Egyptians at the time. One of the most significant religious events held in Heracleon was the annual Mysteries of Osiris ceremony, which celebrated the resurrection of the god Osiris. Artifacts and inscriptions found underwater suggest that this ceremony involved a procession from the temple of Amun-Gereb in Heracleion to the temple of Amun in Canopus. The city's remains are located around 6.5 kilometers off the coast, submerged under 30 to 45 feet of water. The excavation revealed a vast treasure trove of artifacts, statues, and architectural wonders that provide invaluable insights into ancient Egyptian civilization and its interactions with the Greek world. One of the most remarkable finds was the discovery of giant statues, some over 5 meters tall, beautifully carved and incredibly well preserved in the silty bottom of the bay. These statues represent a mix of Egyptian gods and goddesses, pharaohs, and Greek rulers, highlighting the cultural blend that characterized the city. Gold coins and weights made from bronze and stone were also discovered, shedding light on the city's trade and economic system. Among the most intriguing discoveries were dozens of small limestone sarcophagi, believed to have been used for mummified animals brought as offerings to the gods. These, along with the remains of more than 64 ancient shipwrecks, tell the story of a city deeply connected with the divine, where commerce and religion were intertwined. An interesting comparison can be drawn between Heracleon and the ancient city of Pompeii in Italy. Both cities were lost to natural disasters. Heracleon to rising waters and earthquakes, Pompeii to a volcanic eruption, and both lay forgotten for centuries. The rediscovery of each has provided a snapshot of life in an ancient city, offering insights into the daily lives, cultures, and economies of the past. While Pompeii offers a glimpse into Roman life frozen in time by volcanic ash, Heracleion reveals its story through the preservation of artifacts beneath the sea. Both sites challenge our understanding of ancient civilizations, but the underwater preservation of Heracleion offers a unique perspective, particularly in the conservation of organic materials and metals that would not have survived on land. The discovery and ongoing excavation of Heracleion challenge our perceptions of ancient history, providing evidence of the interconnectedness of ancient civilizations through trade, religion, and culture. The artifacts and structures found beneath the waters of the Mediterranean are a testament to the city's significance in the ancient world, offering a vivid picture of its splendor and the daily lives of its inhabitants. Cleopatra's palace in Alexandria, submerged beneath the waters of the eastern harbor near the modern city, is a site of immense archaeological and historical significance. This palace, part of the larger royal quarter of ancient Alexandria, was a center of political power, cultural achievement, and architectural grandeur during the reign of Cleopatra VII, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. The discovery of the palace's ruins underwater has captivated historians, archaeologists, and the public alike, offering a unique glimpse into the life of one of history's most enigmatic figures and the period she lived in. The underwater explorations have revealed a wealth of artifacts, including statues, coins, jewelry, and everyday objects that paint a vivid picture of life in Cleopatra's Alexandria. Among the most significant finds are the magnificent statues. Divers have uncovered numerous statues believed to have adorned the palace and the surrounding city. These include representations of Egyptian deities, members of the Ptolemaic dynasty, and possibly Cleopatra herself, although identifying specific individuals can be challenging. The layout of the submerged buildings, including what are thought to be the palace's living quarters, ceremonial areas, and perhaps even the famous Pharos Lighthouse, provides insight into the architectural styles and urban planning of the time. Items ranging from pottery and glassware to coins and personal ornaments have been found, illustrating both the domestic life within the palace and the broader economic and social systems of Alexandria. Alexandria under Cleopatra was a cosmopolitan hub of trade, culture, and learning. The city housed the Great Library, a beacon of knowledge attracting scholars from across the ancient world. Cleopatra's reign marked the zenith of Alexandria's development as a center of Hellenistic culture, blending Egyptian traditions with Greek and Roman influences. The discovery of the palace underwater underscores Alexandria's importance as a cultural and political capital. An interesting parallel can be drawn between Cleopatra's palace in Alexandria and the sunken Roman city of Baiae in the Bay of Naples. Like Alexandria, Baiae was renowned for its opulent buildings, including villas, temples, and baths, many of which belong to the wealthiest and most powerful figures of the Roman world. Both sites were lost to the sea due to natural disasters, Baiae to volcanic activity, and Alexandria to earthquakes and rising sea levels. The comparison highlights how both cities were centers of luxury and political power, reflecting the wealth and architectural tastes of their respective civilizations. However, while Baiae offers insight into Roman elite leisure and architectural innovation, Cleopatra's palace in Alexandria provides a window into the last days of the Egyptian pharaohs and the Ptolemaic dynasty's efforts to blend Egyptian and Hellenistic cultures. The port of Alexandria, established by Alexander the Great in 331 BC, quickly became one of the world's most significant trade hubs and a beacon of cultural and intellectual achievement. Situated on the Mediterranean coast of Egypt, it connected trade routes from Europe, Asia, and Africa, making it a melting pot of cultures, ideas, and goods. The port's strategic and economic significance was unmatched in the ancient world, serving as the primary entry point for grain shipments from Egypt to Rome, a critical factor in Rome's imperial stability. One of the port's most iconic landmarks was the Pharos Lighthouse, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Standing on the island of Pharos, it guided ships into the harbour with its towering light. Constructed in the 3rd century BC, it exemplified ancient engineering marvels and symbolized Alexandria's prosperity. Although not directly part of the port, the Great Library of Alexandria was emblematic of the intellectual vibrancy that the city's wealth and connectivity facilitated. It attracted scholars, scientists, and philosophers from across the ancient world. The royal quarters and palaces around the port included magnificent structures and the Museion, a shrine of the Muses, which housed the famous library. These buildings reflected the city's status as a center of Hellenistic culture and power. Underwater archaeology has uncovered a wealth of artifacts from the port, including ancient shipwrecks, pottery, and everyday items, offering insights into ancient maritime practices and the diverse goods that flowed through the city. The port of Alexandria was crucial in the ancient economy, facilitating the trade of commodities such as grain, papyrus, glass, and precious metals. Its storied docks and warehouses bustled with merchants and goods from all corners of the Mediterranean and beyond, reflecting a highly organized trade network. The city's prosperity was closely tied to its port's efficiency and its ability to serve as a cultural and economic bridge between different worlds. Drawing a comparison, the port of Alexandria and the ancient Roman port of Ostia were both foundational to the economies of their respective empires, serving as vital nodes in the Mediterranean trade network. Ostia, at the mouth of the river Tiber, was the primary sea gateway for the Roman Empire, much like Alexandria was for Egypt. Each port was a focal point of economic activity and cultural exchange, reflecting the cosmopolitan nature of ancient Mediterranean life. However, while Ostia primarily served Rome and was critical for importing grain to feed the capital's population, Alexandria had a more global significance, connecting multiple continents. The discovery of exotic goods and the remains of diverse ships in Alexandria underscores its broader reach in the ancient trading world compared to Ostia, which, though significant, had a more centralized role within the Roman state.